Wait. Hello. Happy Saturday. How you guys bearing? How you guys binka-in? Hello, hello. Let's see. Alright, I was just getting things set up. I like kinda prepared and kinda didn't. Like I have my iPad set up and everything, but I don't think I had my screen set up, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's see who we got here, and then we'll get to class. We'll talk a little bit about we'll do our dailies. I also have a couple of like small announcements. It's all good stuff. All good stuff. Like no scary G words or hiatuses or anything like that. It's just two good things. But let's see who we got here. We got Saribot, our rock. We got Fagubi, you got your sticker. You got Folk, you got your sticker as well. Hello, Mauser. Heavily salted fish, hello, hello. Peck School, hello. Hello. Good day. Are we getting pizza? Yeah. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me just go to the supply closet real quick. Let me just toggle something right there, and then we're gonna get to class. And I totally did that ahead of time, and I forgot my tracking. I told you I wasn't prepared. I'm speaking to you with my mind. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me just a hot second. I should put that on a toggle. The little party supplies and stuff. There we go. There we go. We're no longer speaking telepathically. Hello everyone, hello, it's me, Babinka Bear, your local Sun Bear art history teacher and educational streamer. And today I totally planned this pizza party. It totally wasn't because Heavily Salted Fish asked about it, right? There's nothing in the pizza box. She sold her face muscles to buy us pizza. I know, I'm so thoughtful, aren't I? I'm just so thoughtful. But hold on, let's put some music on. I was listening to some Digimon music earlier, and you know, why not continue the trend? Why not continue it? Let's see, Digimon soundtracks all seasons. Sounds good. There we go. Wait, now why isn't the Spotify playing showing up? There you go. But hey, how you guys doing? Hello. Thank you for the pizza box. You're welcome. You guys can have the box. Nothing really inside there. Maybe some mold. It's been in the supply closet for a minute. You could have the Cola Zero. I don't really like diet stuff. Like, you see the Cola Zero here? I don't really like diet stuff. They always say you can't taste the difference, but I can taste the difference. So, you can have all that. Haven't been drawing for a long time. Man, I've been doing nothing but drawing for like the past month. I'm getting a little burnt out, but I'm starting to get re-energized. And Mauser, thank you for the 10 stream streak. Aw, Nina, thanks for petting my nose. Hello, hello. I do grant you a pizza box. I grant you a pizza box. It's a fire sale. It's a pizza box. Boop the nose. You did boop my nose. Hello, hello. Yeah, hello. You guys might be wondering why there's a Twitter page on the screen today. That's one of the announcements. I have two small. It's not big in the terms of like, oh, pretty big in terms of like we're getting a shop or we're getting merch. It's like small in that regard, but it's big in terms of like I did a lot of work to contribute to this. So there is a VTuber that I follow. Her name is Arya VT, and she has an event coming up. And she is the main ringleader for this. Even though I'm like, I contributed a lot. Like, she is the main person organizing everything, so please send her your praises. Even in fact, let's give her a shout out. Arya VT. So yeah, check her out, but she also has a big event coming up. I've been mentioning it here and there. You're gonna be singing with her as a guest? No, no. I would love to sing, but I have no vocal training, so it's gonna come out very squeaky. I love singing and all, but let's just watch the trailer, shall we? Let's see. Let me turn off the music. Here we go. So this is the first announcement. I also just like the editing in this. Because it's like, oh, these are all the years that we've had Digimon. Yeah. August 1st. That's in a couple of weeks, 7 p.m. PST. Oh, that's just the beginning. It looped. But yeah. Over at Arya VT's channel, she's gonna have a really huge event. Does it say? Yeah, it says it right here. It's a concert. It's a concert. It's a concert. And the theme is nostalgia, going back to the beginning. And as you can see, there's like this big countdown of like all the Digimon series thus far, from like Beat Break to Ghost Game, to Adventure 2020, Appmon, which I've been getting into. I'm like, I think, want to say like 4/5 of the way, like 3/4 of the way through it. So Appmon, I think this is Cross Wars. This is the one major Digimon series that I haven't watched. Cross Wars and the whatever I think Fusion. These two I haven't watched. Fusion and Cross Wars. Data Squad, Frontier, Tamers, 02, and of course the OG, my favorite, my heart and soul, Adventure 1999. So all of that is going to be covered. I helped contribute art-wise with a lot of art, essentially. So yeah, check it out. I'm pretty excited for folks to see it. A lot of the people behind the scenes have been working really hard on it. So like not just us artists, but I also mentioned Arya, but also like there's a lot of voice actors. So the art that I contributed is not just art. There's gonna be a little bit of voice acting too, and then the singers as well. The singers. Then sing, you don't need training necessarily, just practice and passion can go a long way. True, but I want to know like the good techniques so that I don't blow my voice out. And don't get me wrong, I love singing. I am a Filipino. I sing whenever I have the opportunity to do so. I'm not too shy about it. As many longtime watchers of the stream know, I'm not too shy about it, but the main thing is like blowing out my voice, because I've been to karaoke a couple of times with some friends. I'll get really into it, and then after like 2 to 3 songs, I'm just like, I can't say anything. So yeah, that's the main thing. It's not that I don't have too much like, I don't have as much confidence, but it's because I don't know the techniques that much. Like, I know that you're supposed to be singing from your diaphragm and stuff like that. So that's something that I want to get from if I ever get like vocal lessons. So Yeah, it's not that I'm like shy about singing, it's more that I'm shy about blowing out my voice. And plus, vocal lessons can also just make you sound a little bit better as well. Like, I feel like my voice isn't totally bad. I'm not completely tone deaf. I feel like I can carry a tune pretty well. But sometimes there is a mismatch, right? Between what comes out of your voice and what the note that you want to come out, right? But yeah, Digimons! Digimons! Yeah, karaoke's the best. I love karaoke. Unfortunately, I don't usually have the place to myself, so and that's when I feel the most comfortable doing karaoke, but one of these days, it might even be a gorilla stream. If there's one day where I'm like, I have the place to myself, let's do it. Let's get the microphone out, Babing Cubs. It's all dusty in the supply closet, but get it out, we'll do it. But yeah, that's the first announcement, is that cool concert happening in August 1st. So be there or be undigivolved. Gorilla singing. You and me like gorilla. No, you know what? We are gonna listen to Digimon, but because you said gorilla singing. There we go. Any opportunity to put on the Bruno Mars, right? Any opportunity. You and me like a gorilla. Alright. So yeah, that's the first announcement. The other one I mentioned in the Discord, but I was like, whispers, this is happening, but the other announcement is that I'm open for commissions. So, now that I finished a lot of my contributions to the concert, I have a little bit more free time on my hands. So, hold on. I can put this in the chat too. But yeah, if you ever thought that you like my art style, my little sketches, we're gonna be seeing some of my art style today too. Oh, that's what I forgot to set up my iPad thing. So give me a second while I do that. But yeah, commissions are open. It's over there on my VGen under the name Pau Pandan. See what I mean? So I'm offering right now colored sketches for 30 bucks. I'm not offering pixel art right now because some of these I want to do while I'm on the train to Offkai, and unfortunately I don't have pixel art programs on my iPad. But I also offer medieval style illustrations for 45 buckaroonies. Custom emotes, and I was offering PNGTuber models, but I only opened 2 slots and they were taken really quickly. So, if there are other people that are interested in that though, do click on this bell to get notified whenever... I realize you can't see my cursor. There we go. Click on the bell, and you'll get notified once I open up slots again. But I also offer emotes and stuff like that. So yeah, if you're interested in art by a small sun bear, do check it out. Check out my VGen. Give Binka all your money. She does amazing work. Is really fast and easy to work with. Thank you, folk. Thank you. Nice to see a happy customer. Hehehe. Alright, yeah, I completely forgot to set up my iPad. Let me do that really quick. Let me get my program out. I was like, I feel like I'm forgetting something as I'm like filling up my water bottle right before. Only 2? Whoops. I'm glad that they went really quickly. I'm glad, so thank you, I appreciate that. Like gorillas. Alright. Setting up my program. Like gorillas. Okay, is this gonna work? Hello? Is my iPad? Please log in. Ah, dang it. Okay. Bear with me here. Ah, the thing is, which login did I use? Like gorillas. Okay, dang, I don't remember my login. Okay, give me a second. Incorrect. I hope it doesn't log me out or lock me out. No, what do you mean? What do you mean? I can't log in. 6-7. Hello, idol. Hello. Then we might need to like change up the stream if I'm not able to log into my like casting program. We might go from a study session to like, I don't know, playing something, but you know, give me a second. What the? Are we playing some 2000s hits now? I do love 2010s T-Swift, but well, we're gonna go back to Digimon. There we go. Oh my god, this login is not working! Okay, maybe I'll just click on forgot password. Okay, okay. I'm just gonna get a verification code real quick. Yoni. Show me your brave heart. Alright, is this working? Okay, we're in. Hacker voice, I'm in. Let's try this again. Alright, I think we should be good. Let me just make sure that I'm sharing my iPad. There we go. We're here. We're good. Look, I'll even prove it. There we go. We're in, baby. Oh, for some reason, part of my screen is... Wait, how come part of my screen shows the Pau Panda? Oh, I know why. I know why. There you go. Okay, we're in, but we're not gonna start yet. We're not gonna start yet because there's still one more thing that we gotta do, and that's our dailies. So let's get through them right now, and then we're gonna be doing some studying today, but it's gonna be a anatomy study, as in I'm using this book. This is Figure Drawing by Michael Hampton. Let me actually go all the way up. There we go. Figure Drawing, Design, and Invention by Michael Hampton. This is the, what is this? 2009 version. There's more updated versions. I have the physical one, but this one is just really convenient because it's online. So, I think we're over at page 20. We did quite a few last time. We got up to, I think, this page. No. This page where we were drawing like rib cages and pelvises and such. So today we're going to be looking more into poses. And then, I don't know if we're going to be... There's a section here called Landmarks, and I think that's the next, like, big chapter, but I don't know if we're going to be getting to that. We might just finish off this first chapter, and kind of go from there. But yeah, that's what we're doing today, but let's do our dailies. Let's do Daily Hue. I kind of want to see this picture a bit bigger, if possible. Open image in new tab? Nope, nothing. Nothing. Alright, let's see. So this is a 3D work. This is called The Motherland Calls by Yevgeny Vuchetich. So maybe this is a Slavic country. This is interesting because it's a 3D work. It looks like a sculpture, right? Or is this, do you think this is a painting? Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. So if this is just the shadow, I kind of want to say it's like a blue, desaturated, and darker, something like that. It's a mid guess. 79. We're not too far off. Not too far off. So lightness is already kind of the closest. Saturation needs to be a little bit more desaturated, and hue needs to be, oh, interesting, a little closer to green, maybe. Or yellow. Oh, you know what? This, like, yellow-gray looks more accurate. But, I don't know, let's try green first. 80? Okay, hue, so hue can go, oh, it's between blue and green. Lightness, we went too far. We need to go back to the 30s. Or maybe here? Saturation, more desaturated. 92, we're so close. We're incredibly close. Also, this song is a rockin', what the heck? You're gonna go, it's almost 2 a.m. Get some rest. Get some rest. Thanks for dropping by, Heavily Salted Fish. I appreciate ya. I appreciate ya. So saturation should be here, and then yeah, it's between blue and green. But the color is like, it's a very subtle change. If you look at the color here, there's not a lot of change going on. So hue, let's see, 174. Let's go here. 93, that's barely a change. Okay. Lighting here, saturation here. There? Ah, we didn't get a perfect. We didn't get a perfect, but it's okay. We got pretty close. It's gray. It's like a different flavor of gray. Yummy music. We'll leave this stream as long as possible. Oh, I appreciate you, Heavily Salted. I hope you have a good evening. That pizza box has implanted a suggestion that I'm going to take. Right? No, I agree. I agree. I think during the next ad break, I might go over to Beans and be like, should we order some food? All right, so let's see. We have our score. Let's go ahead and input it. Got a 97. Oh, this little orchestral song. If you watch any of the Digimon movies, it just plays over and over and over again. You're like super familiar with this. Oh, it just says gray. It's not even like an earthy gray or a cool gray. It's just gray. It's aggressively neutral. Tell my wife I said hello type shit, you know? I mean type stuff. A muted earthy teal, mid-tone, the color of verdigris on ancient bronze and the sea at its most luminous. Cool, cool. So what is this? Yevgeny Vuchetik was a prominent Soviet sculptor best known for creating large-scale monuments that commemorated military victories and national identity. Interesting. Oh, so it is a sculpture. That's what I thought. That's what it kind of looked like. And when they say monumental, this does look pretty monumental. Like, it feels like a person probably would reach up to here. So that is massive. Well, let's see. HCTQW5, hello. I thought today's daily hue was unfair. Once you get to saturation 3, you're all gray. Does the hue even matter? Same. I feel the same way because it's like, the difference doesn't even, like, look that, you know, like, different? So I agree with you there. But yeah, it seems like there's a lot of interesting art that, that has that gray. Oh, I think we've seen this Harlequin before. This is by Paul Cézanne. This is one of the paintings that inspired Cubism. And then the swing, this is actually one of my favorite paintings because it looks so sweet and darling, but it's you know, a bit risque. There's a bit of a story with this one. This one's cool. I've never seen this one. What is this? Port of Bordeaux. Hey, I was reading that. Why did it just switch on me like that? It just switched on me. I wanted to learn more. Okay, let me just look at Port of Bordeaux painting. Is it this one? No. No, have I lost it forever? No! Are you laughing at me? No. Why would Daily Hugh do this to me? I feel like his last name... I feel like his name was like Andre something. Andre... It said French? Is he French or is his last name French? Ah, was it one of these? I've lost it. I know I can kill. The truth lies behind the gate. Try abstract? It was kind of abstract. It was almost cubist, right? Yeah, here it is! Here it is! On Pinterest, of all places. Oh, Lotte. I think it's Andre Lahote? Lotte? Andre Lotte. What? That doesn't bring up the same picture. It's okay. I'll save this tab and then we'll go from there. Alright, let's see. What did I miss out on? Beeplebees, hello, hello. We were looking at paintings and then I was like on Daily Hue trying to look at a painting and then it just switched on me. It was like, haha, idiot. Trying to learn. Ankle? Scandalous. Oh, if you're talking about the swing, yeah, that one is very scandalous because like, okay, the swing. Painting. Wanting to learn in a classroom of all places serves you right. Andre and the giant elote. I love the elote. Yeah, we can talk about this one for a little bit. It's so scandalous. It's not just the fact that she's showing ankle. She's on a swing, right? She's on a swing. And then if you look over here, she has her darling husband. Her older husband is, you know, operating the swing without a care in the world. And all that. But then if you look over here, she has a lover. There's a guy in the bushes over here. And he's got the perfect view to, you know, what he wants. And it's not like she doesn't know he's there. That's the reason why she's, like, playfully tossing her shoe over to him, right? And then all these little statues of the little cherubs, they're all just like, shh, keep it a secret. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. See, the cherubs are even, like, watching the whole thing unfold. Meanwhile, the husband is none the wiser, you know? So yeah, I like this painting for that reason of, like, it looks so soft and darling and, like, you know, romantic. But then, like, the deeper you look, the more it's like, uh-oh. Uh-oh. The other leg is exposed! There's thigh! I miss her Daily Hues as Galley Hughes. How could he hide art from us? How could he? He would never. He would never. But alright, so let's go ahead and move on to... Oh, we're gonna save that. Let's go ahead and go on to Time Guesser. I love this song. Alright, Time Guesser. This looks Andean. This looks like South America. I like their outfits. This looks like a festival. Actually, I don't know, because something about the outfits reminds me of, like, South America, but I wish... What does this say? This looks like indigenous art over here, but I could be wrong. Like, something about, like, these outfits, right? There's also a flag here, and it's a rainbow flag, but I don't know if it's, like, you know, the LGBT flag, because for a while it didn't have that triangle. The one with, like, the trans colors. It was just a prism. But it was updated, I actually don't know when, but yeah. Yeah, you've seen that flag before, right? Can you guess the time? Right now? Tricky, I know. I'm gonna say it's 17 in the morning. 11:33 as I see on my clock. Negai wo kaze ni furaido noseta toki. Código, no, Código Civil. So civil code. There's a mask. Kitone. Right, it looks like the rainbow flag, but I don't think it's the LGBTQ flag. I can't read too much of the other text. Oh, wait, we got something here. Danzas Folclórico del Cusco. It's Cusco. There we go. Peru. I knew it was South American, Andean. It's just that what made me second guess is this art, because this art from far away looks kind of like Inuit or like First Nations up to the north. But if you look in the background, I shouldn't have second guessed myself. Look at those sandy mountains. But I love these outfits. They look very cute. The only thing is I don't know much in the way of time period. We do have some cars back here. They look a little bit more recent. This could be anytime from like the 2000s to the 2020s, right? Is she holding a phone? I'm not seeing too much in the way of phones, but then again, it's focused on like these people marching. So let's say 2010s. Let's say like mid 2010s. Like 2015. Cusco. 1 year off. Let's go. Ah yes, Cusco's parade. The parade in Cusco. The parade they prepared in Cusco. A young boy in traditional ornate attire holding a book labeled Código Civil, the civil code, as he marches in a street parade in Cusco, Peru, celebrating the anniversary of the city. Nice! Cool. Alright, next up. Landesrei something? I feel like that is German, right? Like it reminds me of, what's that word? Landeschnecks? Landeschnecks? Music. Bleiberg. That sounds German. I don't know where Bleiberg is. But this feels German, right? Oh wait, what does this say? Machine credit? Machine credit? There's some locations over here. Or what looks like locations. Haciafrost. Krongas. Liebenau. St. Peter. St. Leonhard. Let's say Berlin. Time period wise. Some gentlemen are wearing hats. Not everyone though. This feels like it could be 60s, maybe? Actually, some of the hair is kind of big, like this person's hair. Maybe it's closer to the 70s, but let's say 69. Oh, it's 89. It's 89. Interesting. And this is in Austria. So Germanic-speaking place, but not Germany. Man, okay. Is that Nixon? That's Nixon, isn't it? A young Nixon. I guess that answers our question. Aru! And this is Kennedy for president. Leadership for the 60s. Maybe this is, what is this? Oregon? Alright, I feel like we have a pretty good idea of what's going on here. Let's get 63. Old Tricky Dick himself, exactly. I don't know whoever it is. It's not a crook, supposedly. Exactly. Everyone should start wearing hats and taking black and white photos to trick a Big Binka? No! No, get those hats off. Get those hats off right now. How dare you? Actually, can I do a black and white filter? Let me see if I can do a black and white filter real quick. It's gonna go dark for a bit. Color correction, saturation, close. Haha, you can't see me. Yay! Oh no, we're oversaturated. We're overexposed. Nah, dang it. I thought that was gonna like change the blending mode. Darken, lighten. It does nothing. It does nothing. I think I can make myself black and white though. I figured it out. I figured it out when I was fixing the water redeem. Like, watch this. Filters. Color correction. Saturation. Oh no! I'm old-timey! Now look what you've done! Can we see the fixed water? Yeah. I think, you know what? I'll just activate it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, I'm big! I'm big and I'm monochrome. There we go. See, it's transparent now. It's transparent. Also, I don't like being monochrome. Did you know this guy? 64 slices of American cheese. No! Why would you time it like that? I wanted that cheese. It would have made me be not monochrome. It would have returned color to my life. A transparent? Mm-hmm, exactly. Just in time. I didn't know they had a kid. Oh my gosh. I can actually play around with a lot. I didn't like know about this feature. I can up my saturation. Oh my god. I don't like that. I don't like that. There we go. Let me do the correct. I can also do, what does gamma do? Oh! Whoa. That's crazy. There's contrast. I could be non-contrast. I could be highly contrasted. I could be hue shifted. Oh my gosh, guys. You can play daily hue with me. Like you could play daily hue with Binka. And now the cheese is wet. Aww. What hue am I? What was my original hue? Tell me. Tell me what was my original hue. Alright, wait, how do I fix myself? Okay, I think that's RG Binka. Na, 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 na. Alright, that's enough of that. My dad got an espresso machine and now I cannot stop making sweet coffee treats. I feel that. I feel that. Alright, so this is the 60s. This is in Oregon. Let's say Portland. It was 1960 on the dot. So this is Richard Nixon with his wife Pat addressing supporters from atop their motorcade during a campaign stop in Portland, Oregon, with a lone supporter holding a Kennedy for President sign standing out among the crowd. Kennedy ultimately won the election. That's funny. The lone guy. Your Sun Bear Blurple, obviously. Ah, you guys remember. You guys remember. Alright, where's this? I see Canada. I see some other flags though. Isn't that the flag for Quebec? What's this one? Because I know like without the little things in the corners, this is the English flag. But like what flag is this? So maybe this is Quebec? She fire. Clutch his fist, Quebec. The color of all sun bears. It's true. It's true. This looks like maybe it's from like the either late 70s or early 80s. Let's do 79. And let's just say Quebec. Oh, it's the 90s. Okay. This is in, oh, Montreal. I see. During the late 90s. Okay, okay. Alright, last round. 95 Gare Montparnasse. Saint Germain. The Louvre. The Louvre. I think this might be Paris. The Palais Royal. The Opera. And look at the cars. The cars do have, the fenders are sticking out. But they're still incorporated within the car itself. So maybe this is 50s. To break up, but nice. 1957. Passengers boarding the open rear platform of a bus in Place Saint-Germain-des-Prés in Paris, France during the late 50s. Cool. Not too bad. Ah, we're just a little bit shy of the 40K. But that's okay. That's okay. Based. Alright, last daily for the day before we get into our study sesh. Anthropium. Let's guess some artifacts, shall we? Ooh, this is, definitely Americas. But I can't tell if it's West Mexico or Peru? This like, creature over here almost seems Aztec or Maya. So it could either be here It could be here, but it could also be down here. Yo, Mega Bronson, hello. Looking forward to today's Are You Chinese or Japanese? We'll see, right? That was such a funny use of that gif, by the way. Cause yeah, there are some works where I'm like, this looks Chinese. It's actually Japanese. Alright, yeah, as I was saying, like, I don't know, I feel like for like moche in Peru, you'd have more of like a spout decoration. And there's just something about this like creature over here that reminds me of like Maya glyphs. So let's just try Maya. Let's put it like here, somewhere here. And then we'll say, yeah, 1500? Ooh, it was, oh no, it's not moche. I've heard of this style. This is kupisnike? Kupisnike? It's one of the earlier, it's BCE. It's BCE. It's an earlier time period compared to moche. Interesting. Kupisnike art is very interesting too because it does this thing. I don't remember if it was this style or another one, where it has designs that look that are meant to be read both right side up and upside down. You know what? Let me see if I can show you. Kupisnike. I feel like it was this movement. Oh, they have some really cool ceramics. Oh no, you know what? It's another culture. It's called Chavin. Chavin art. They have some really cool artwork that can be read in multiple directions. I think this is an example. So if we open this in a new tab, like right now you can probably see like a figure with like big old teeth, but if you flip it upside down, it also still looks like a figure. I have a better example in one of my like work files, but I won't be able to show that to you right now. They look so cool, right? Society was at its height when we had cool looking cars, ignore the war and colonialism and racism and sexism and homophobia, and stole the words right out of my mouth. Okay, so we have brass. Every time we see brass, I'm very tempted to just be like, easy Benin City, Edo culture, right? Especially with how many rounds we've played of this, but I'm actually not sure. This looks like some kind of nut, you know? Like, it looks like some kind of legume. But I'm not sure. We could say Benin City, but I wouldn't be able to do so with the utmost confidence, but I'll say just as a guess. Ah, well, there you go. Easy Benin City, Edo peoples. There you go. Oh, they are nuts. It's cola nuts. Symbol of civilization, sociability, and rank. They were given to guests to show hospitality. Oh, okay. Looks like a butt gets shot. Brass banana door handle. That would be such a cool door handle. I'd use it. Okay, what is this? This is limestone. Wait, what is this? Limestone carved in relief? And it's... Oh, look at that. It's showing the context in which it would have been displayed. It's not a broken arch, so this wouldn't be Gothic, but that doesn't necessarily mean it wouldn't be European. This looks like it'll also be, like, Roman. I don't know, I'm very tempted to say Rome, but it could just as easily be, like, any other part of, like, Western Europe, or Eastern. But let's just say Rome, for a laugh. Oh, just a little bit. Oh, it's Egyptian. Okay. So it's an arch with running vines, leaves, and fruit. Why is fruit? Why is leaves and fruit italicized? It's like, you might as well just have like quotation marks. It's like, it's an arch with vines and leaves and fruits. Wink. It's that good. It's that good fruit. But cool, it's 6th century Egyptian. Ooh, what's this? This looks Japanese. This looks Japanese. If it turns out being Chinese, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna freak it. See, there's something about these designs that feel pretty Japanese. Is it Chinese or Japanese? I feel like this is Japanese. Come on, Japan. Give me... Throw me a bone here. Throw me a bone, please. Submit guess. It is! Wrong, it's Korean! Which has happened. Which has happened. Does the meaning change when you flip the image, or is it the same both ways? I want to see if... Give me a second. I feel like I can get the image from my work email. Let's just hope that it doesn't show. Okay. Give me a second. Google Slides. What happened to the music? Oh, there we go. Okay, if I copy this, can I put this? No, I can't. Alright, give me a second, give me a second, give me a second. Ding, 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 do. Open browser. There we go. So this is an example. You accidentally turned it off while trying to adjust the volume. How dare you? So these are the main two examples that I saw. If we focus here on the left, you have a figure that's holding up two staffs, and they have these like pretty like noticeable like teeth and fangs. Their eyes are kind of looking upward, right? And then they have like something going on with their forehead. And then that forehead kind of like goes into this like elaborate headdress. And at first it can be quite a little bit hard to read, right? Because here are the eyes, here's the mouth, here's the nostril, what could be a chin, and then the rest of the body. He's holding something with like clawed hands, the forehead, and then this like elaborate headdress, right? Now if you turn it upside down, let's go back up here. That same figure now has like, instead of these big bulging eyes, he has like these kind of like smiling eyes in a way. The chin is now like a nostril, and then now he's like kind of smiling or grimacing. And now this becomes part of another head entirely. So there's like these two orbs are now the eyes of this creature, which has like a snout over here, two sets of like fangs on either side. And then it like descends more into kind of like this like dragon shape, I want to say. Like this is another snout, these are eyes, these are eyes, these are eyes, and they all have like these like protruding fangs and stuff. So it almost feels like a huge dragon, essentially. So that's pretty neat though, isn't it? Like you have this figure that's holding stuff, but it's like both readable right side up and upside down. To the point where it's like which one is right side up and upside down, right? Yeah, the intricate detail is so pretty, right? I like this a lot. So I'll put it in the chat, but this is from what's called Chavin culture in Peru. So yeah. Hey, but yeah, we got the Japan one correct. Let's go. Oh no! Oh no! This is where I'm not sure. Is this Chinese or Japanese or Korean? It feels definitely like some kind of East Asian. Oh, this is a textile. Look at that, it's a textile. I thought it was... Oh, it even says silk tapestry. Alright, you would think that reading these like fancy Hanzi characters, it's like, oh, obviously it's Chinese, right? Because like Korean and Japanese have different writing systems. But no, like way back in the day, they all kind of shared this writing system. That's what makes it so hard. Because it's like, then you have to focus on like stylistic things, like who would use these big like brush strokes, right? I'm not sure. My legs! Wrong Russian, actually. Hello, Matthew, you got your stickers. We're doing Anthropium. We're listening to Digimon music. A silk tapestry. Silk makes me want to say China, you know? Stylistically, kind of reminds me more of like Japan, but like the fact that it's on silk makes me want to say China, and because it's silk, I want to say it's a little bit more contemporary, so guess. Nice. We did it. We did it. We passed the China-Japan test. We passed the East Asia test. And now what is this? This style feels kind of familiar. I feel like this might be Central Asia? Maybe like Iranian? It feels so familiar. It could just as easily be like any place in West Asia. Maybe even like Egypt, North Africa. Or even like ancient Greek, right? But I don't know, something's telling me maybe this is closer to the Caucasus or Central Asia. Let's say Tehran. And let's say 500 BCE. It's American! It's American! We were way off. Oh, interesting. Mimbres. United States Mimbres. I want to look that up. Is there anything else? Oh, these are cool. Wait, these are awesome. Look at this. Look at the line work on this. Oh my gosh. That's so like ornate. It's so fine, you know? I want to look more into this. All right, what do we got here? What is this? Shell? Spondylus shell? Spondylus shell. That's a material you see in the Americas, but like the style? I wasn't entirely sure. I feel like you could also argue that this could be like West Africa or even just like ancient like Mediterranean. I am like not really that sure. The only hint for me is the shell. Because you do find spondyluses in the Americas. I just don't know if you also find them in the rest of the world, you know? This could just be a really common material. But let's try it out. Let's try Maya region again. Big and big stream. Gumby's great grandpa, right? Oh, Colima. They made shell things in Colima? That's awesome. A shell of thorny oyster native to warm and coastal waters of the Pacific. Okay, okay. Is a vibrant... Also, you would only find spondylus works on, like, on here then, on the West Coast. Oh, I learned something new. It's a vibrant red-orange color that caused it to become highly valued material collected and traded in ancient Mesoamerica and beyond. The spondylus is that, like, really spiky-looking one. Spondylus. It's the one that you can use as a horn, essentially. Oh, no, I'm wrong. What's the one that you can use as a horn? There's, let's see, shell, horn. It's like this one. Conch? I think it's conch. Yeah, it is conch. Thank you, both the beeplebees and Matthew. You guys got it, yeah. Because you also find conches. I just don't know if you would find them in any other part of the world, but yeah, I have heard of spondyluses before. Oh, cool. Big and big stream. Oh no, I didn't mean to exit out of that tab. We need that one for later. All right, Egyptian, easy Egyptian. The only question is time period. I'm not too sure. Let's say Old Kingdom Egypt. Let's say New Kingdom? Question mark? Or is New Kingdom back here? We'll see. Oh, pretty close, pretty close. And it is New Kingdom. Amarna period? I even said that I could recognize Amarna period. But the thing is, that's only if there's, like, figures. Conscious as opposed to unconscious. Or conchas, you know? Dang, I'm always like, the one Egyptian style I can identify is Amarna period, but I couldn't identify it here. Oh, I did. Kinda. Yo, I recognize this anywhere. This is Moche. This is Moche, Peru, which I believe is north. I just don't remember the time period, unfortunately. Say this. Yep, Moche, Fox Warrior bottle. That's a sick warrior. Look at him. With his little arms. Sticking his tongue out, he's mlemming. I love that. Next round. Alright, last round. Wait, what are we listening to? Regan Bogan? Is this from... Oh, I guess it's from Tamers. Oh, cool. Oopsie, what did I do? Oh, here. This looks medieval. Is this ivory? Poplar with paint. This looks medieval, right? But I wouldn't be able to tell if it's French, English, German, etc., etc. So let's just say French. Let's say Parisian, and let's say 1000 CE. Oh, it's Scandinavian. Unlike the Auvergne Virgin and Child, this work is not three-dimensional. Hollowed at the back was probably a centerpiece. It's not three-dimensional? Oh, I mean, I guess. It still kind of counts as three-dimensional. Interesting. Okay, so we got top 21%. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's see, art appreciation, daily games, paste. We missed a couple of things. We definitely missed, this one we didn't miss too much. The bottle with Cayman, we knew at least that it was from the Americas. But we didn't go as far down south. But the one that we really messed up on was this one. But we did learn a little bit more about another culture, the Mimbres culture. And then time-wise... Oh, you know what? This one we did mess up time-wise. But, you know, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah. So, alright. That is pretty much it for our dailies and for our initial yaps. We do have an ad break coming up, and when we come back, we're going to go ahead and start our study session. We're going to be learning a little bit more about poses, gesture drawings, and all that stuff. I'm kind of more excited for when we get to learn about landmarks and like how to draw specific things like the head and the arms and stuff like that, but we will get there when we get there. What we're going to be covering for today is the last of like this introductory section. So the about to pose, we do have an ad break coming up. Economy of line, we're going to learn what that means, and creating a story. We're not literally going to create a story, but we're going to see how we can like put storytelling into like our poses. And that, I think that's probably going to be it. If we get to the landmark section, that would be cool, but there's no guaranteed. So let's go ahead and go up here. I'll put you guys over in the cub corner. I'm going to take a breaky, get some water. Oh, we're also flooded here. I might need to fix that. Not the cub corner also being flooded. But alright, I will fix that. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Okay, we are back. I hope you guys had a good break. I fixed the pipes. So there's no more flooding. For now. For now. But yeah, so for the rest of the stream, we're going to go ahead and be doing some studying. I'm not going to be completely silent during the study portions, but we are going to be using a Pomodoro timer. I am keeping it a little bit shorter this time around, though, just because I don't have that much energy today. Or rather, there are some other things that I also want to work on behind the scenes, including some off-Kai stuff, which I can show off right now. But yeah, I'm going to keep things a little bit shorter, so we're probably going to be doing like 2 or 3 Pomodoros, and instead of 45 minutes, they're going to be 30 minutes with a short 10-minute break in between, and then if we do a long break, it would be a 20-minute break. So, but during our study sessions, I'm going to be reading over here, and then I'll also be sharing my iPad over here just so that you can see, yeah, the process. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do this. Alright, let me also lower the volume on the Spotify. Alright, time to study up. Feel free, you guys, if you guys want to do your own studying, if you guys want to follow along, if you guys want a second screen, me, no worries at all, but I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Alright. Okay, so this section is talking about the about to pose, as in the author kind of recommends in order to practice dynamic poses, draw someone that is about to do something, that is about to do an action or has just finished an action. So with that in mind, we can also review what I did last time. I decided to label them. We have our little creature here. But last time we did go over balance and symmetry. And this idea of like drawing your lines with some asymmetry to them. Symmetry is good in certain contexts, but not always, especially if we're going for dynamic poses. Gesture drawings and wrapping. So we're going to be doing quite a few gesture drawings today, which are basically these figure drawings that don't put too much emphasis on realism or like an exact copy of your reference, but rather kind of like copying the vibe of the pose, you know? So we don't have to worry too much about like what's it called, proportions being accurate. It's just a matter of like making it seem like the pose that you're referencing is there on the paper. And then wrapping, basically using lines to kind of imply depth, imply like how far away or closer something is to the viewer. So like using these kind of upward, let me see if I can demonstrate this here, these like upward versus like downward U's or U-shaped things to kind of like imply depth, and also like how you space these apart. Like this kind of feels like different from something like that. We did that. We did a couple more gesture drawings. Once again, no emphasis on realism, but more emphasis on the pose. We did some drawings of the spine, both from the back and the front, just so that we can get a little bit familiar with like how spines look, and the natural curvature of it. So often, depending on what angle you're looking at it, there's usually some kind of like bump in the middle, and that's basically where your rib cage would go. We did that, and then we finished off with some drawings of rib cages, very simplified rib cages and pelvises. So now we're gonna go ahead and go on to the about to pose, and the way that I want to go about that is I do want to copy some of these poses that are here in this book, but I think there's a little bit more, yeah, there's a little bit more in this next section. But I'm also noticing that like in these sample drawings, let me see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there we go. In these sample drawings, they're incorporating this like triangle that goes from the feet to the belly button, sometimes to the nose. And it seems like, I guess we'll read about it in the next section, but like, depending on how the triangle looks, if it looks like an equilateral triangle, then it's a fairly stable pose. But something more dynamic will be, you know, something not as equilateral, something like this, you know? So let's go ahead and read the next page and go from there. Okay, yeah, so this guy is basically saying the same thing of like, if you imagine a triangle that goes from... Actually, hold on, I'm getting a email. It was nothing. It was just someone reacting to something that was posted during the week. I was like, why are we getting emails during the weekend? Why are we getting work emails during the weekend? But yeah, as you can see here, like, if the triangle made between the legs and the belly button is like fairly stable, especially at the bottom, it's a fairly stable pose, which is very useful in many contexts. But if you're, once again, if you're going for something more dynamic, then you want something that looks a little less stable, especially at the bottom. This one is still pretty stable at the bottom because it's a straight line. Same here. But then if you go over to these ones, you know, the only thing touching the bottom is this one point, and it's a little more dynamic in that way. Let's see what this says. Organization of lines from the head to the leg should be on a diagonal. Near the line of gravity to complete the out of balance posture. Wait, what does that mean? Near the line of gravity? Simple thought given to a figure's placement will create the about to quality engaging your viewer. Okay. So it's this idea of like anticipation. Anticipation. So let's try this out. Let's draw some of these poses here. We'll just copy, and go from there. Is it in Spanish? I think I tend to draw my legs too long, especially for full body pictures. Uh-oh. Fire. Forgot that I wasn't showing my screen. Burn up and go. Alright, so if we have a pose like this, get a firepower, then it does make a triangle that is kind of stable here at the base. Let's do another one where they're leaning a little bit more. Get a firepower. I don't remember that much about Digimon Frontier, but the music is very banger. The designs are too. I remember I was definitely one of those people that was like, oh man, there's no Digimon partners in this. What's the point? You know, like the whole thing is like seeing the development of the characters through their Digimon's evolutions. But it was still a solid series in my opinion. I can't remember too much of it other than like the villains were pretty banger. But the songs are also banger. Get a firepower. Okay, so here the head and the chest are kind of matched up, but then the feet are not. And if we draw a triangle once again from the belly button to the legs, the bottom is still pretty stable, despite it being kind of like off balance. That's interesting. So let's try some of these other sketches that are a bit closer to like a dynamic pose. Firepower. Like I said, I kind of can't wait to learn a little bit more about like, I guess better drawings, like how to better draw certain landmarks and certain parts of the body like faces. Like I kind of get the general like thing with drawing faces. There's a couple things that I've kept in mind from my life drawing classes. And that is like your brows, from your brows to your lips. From your brows are kind of like the top part of where your ears start, and then it ends closer to like your mouth. And of course this isn't like, you know, set in stone. There are people with bigger and smaller ears, but that's just something that I keep on remembering is like from your brows to your mouth, essentially. And then in between, like, your two eyes there should be enough room for another eye. For a third eye, even. Alright, let's get back to copying that pose. Let me see if I can get some references of my own instead of using just the ones from the book, too. Because these are cool, but I feel like I need to see, like, the actual, like, original reference itself to really kind of nail in this concept. Because right now, I'm just copying another person's sketches. And there is a resource for that. Actually, let me just try it out right now, because I'm not really liking how the sketch is turning out anyway. So, let's go to some figure poses. I think it's like pose ref? Or draw. Give me a second. Let me try to find I used to have a website that helps with gesture drawings where You input what you want, whether you want like models that are clothed or nude or a certain gender or in action or just like more stable, and like they give you a reference. So let me see if I can do that. Personal. Sketch Daily, that's what it's called. Sketch Daily. So yeah, if you go to Sketch Daily, oh, it's not showing up. Hello? Okay. So yeah, this is sketchdaily.com. If you put in like all genders, yeah, clothed preferably, no NSFW, action poses, and then no timer. I don't want a timer. Then there you go. We get ourselves a pose that we can use. Let me see if I can use another one though. This is a good one. The only thing is like the dress does cover it, so maybe I should have chosen like unclothed, but I don't know. The nudity, I don't know how much Twitch is gonna be like, oh, you're looking at, you know, things you shouldn't be looking at. This one you can kind of tell where the legs are, so let's do this one. Oopsie, hidden layer, new layer. The foot is more pointed. Oh god, I don't know how to draw feet. Dang, the neighbors are playing some loud music, but I don't think you guys can hear it, right? Alright, so yeah, not super accurate anatomy-wise, but once again, that's not completely the point of the exercise. Instead, it is about like making that triangle between the belly button and the feet. And yeah, if you look at that triangle, it is a little bit more kind of like this. It's not as stable on the bottom. So, okay, let's try out a different pose then. Ah, dang it, why isn't it showing my browser? Why is it being so silly? There we go. That's a good one too, actually, because you can see exactly where the legs are. Yeah, let's do this one. I also kind of like that the figure is looking over to the side, so we do get a little bit of a profile view. I like that so many of these like songs in this playlist are in like other languages. That just shows how global the Digimon audience is. I'm pretty sure this is German, right? Oh, that arm is kind of off actually, but but once again, I gotta get out of that headspace of like it has to be accurate. It has to be accurate. That's not the point of the exercise. It's not the point. The point is making that triangle. And the triangle kind of looks like this. So yeah, this is a very dynamic pose. I kind of like the triangle trick actually. Let me see how much time I have left in this session. Okay, we have enough time for I think one more. At least for this Pomodoro's like session before the break. We have time for one more drawing, I want to say, so let's try that out. I like that a lot of these reference pictures are like dancers. This guy looks sick. Put the money in the bag, you see. Nobody gets hurt, you see. Me and the boys, you see. That's a good one too. Ooh, konnichiwa, random des. That's a good one too. I like this because the clothing is like skin tight enough that you can, once again, like I kind of prefer that you could see like where all the limbs are. Let's try this one. I like that he has the Nihon bandana. All right, let's try this out. Let's refine this a little bit. And now we get Espanol. Alright, so let's draw that triangle. We have the belly button here. Triangle here, and yeah, actually. Does make quite the oblong triangle. Not oblong, I keep forgetting my words when it comes to the triangle. Isosceles? But yeah, okay, so that was this is a good interesting thing to notice in terms of like, for example, making poses. I don't think I'm quite at that level yet where I can make my own poses. I still kind of need to use a lot of like references for it, but it's good at least at like identifying whether or not a pose is dynamic, is this triangle trick as we'll be calling it. So let me see how much time is left on the timer. We still have like 4 minutes, so I think we can get started on reading the next section. So let's see. Oh, wait, what does he say here? Begin with the head, working with gesture lines down the weight-bearing leg. Oh, I haven't really tried that part out. Is this like, because now I'm like, is he trying to encourage people to make their own poses? I guess I could try that out. How about, I'll just like, look it up. I'll Google, reference someone about to, hit ball, tennis. Okay, these are pretty good. These are interesting. This is actually a pretty good reference. Maybe we can use this one. Alright, so start from the head and then go down towards the weight-bearing leg. And then what else does it say? This organization of lines from the head to the leg should be on diagonal balance, which judging from the center of gravity looks out of balance. So it's not necessarily me having to like do the gesture and then doing the triangle trick, but doing the triangle trick as I'm drawing it. So let's try that out. Maybe there should be enough time. I'll be using that tennis picture. Alright, so here's the head, kind of looking down. There's an arm coming here. But yeah, so belly goes here, leg goes down here towards like the weight-bearing leg. And then here's already the belly button to here. So then if we want kind of like a dynamic pose, then we should bring the leg out this way. So something like... Let me erase the triangle trick for now. It's kind of like the arch of the back. And then the arm actually overtakes a lot of the rest of the body here. This is the arm that's hitting with the tennis racket. Hand over here is kind of outstretched. Let's see if I can get the rest of the body in. And then yeah, with that in mind, the legs should be a little bit more up like this. Alright, not perfect, but we are starting to kind of get the hang of the process here. Dynamic posing is pretty hard at times, especially if you feel like you have to draw parts that aren't going to be seen. But you're like, no, I need to, it doesn't feel right. Yeah, because like with this tennis pose over here, the chest can't be seen at all. It's mostly like this guy's hand, or his arm rather, that's like taken. Oh, and that's the timer. But yeah, like, because certain parts are covered, it's like, I feel like I should include it for clarity and for visibility, but it's like, you don't need to. That's the cool thing with drawings, that you could exaggerate. Even when you're drawing with a reference, you can exaggerate. You can move things around. And as long as it doesn't look painfully, you know, like, unproportional, it's fine. It's fine. But alright, so that is the timer to start our first 10-minute break. We could yap. We could yap. You know, we haven't done a certain daily lately. Food guesser. We haven't done that one. We also haven't done Scrandle. Just because I always get so, like, not seriously heated, but I'm always like, what do you mean you guys don't like the American chili fries? But let's do food guesser, shall we? Oh, they have like a different kind of setup here. Okay, so this is cow milk, salt, rennet, water, optional black cumin seeds and spices. It's smoked string cheese. I love string cheese. Known for its unique braided appearance. Its texture is firm and slightly fibrous. Can we zoom in on this? We can! Cool. Where does string cheese come from? I want to say Italy first, right? Italia. Where is it? Why isn't it? Oh, it's showing by continent here. Italy? Warm? To the east? Greece? Let's say Greece. Oh, still warm. It's a little bit more east. We need a map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. So it's warm? Oh, maybe Turkey? No, it would be warm. It would say borders if it was Turkey, right? Oh, why is... There we go. East. Could it be Russia? Let's say Russia. Borders? Oh no, that doesn't help us though. Oh, this is Digimon Data Squad, isn't it? Borders to the west? Oh, there's so many countries that border to the west, though. It could be Belarus, it could be Ukraine. Let's see Ukraine. And we'll see if we're warm from there. Ukraina. Warm? Oh, no. Where is this? Where is this, dude? I shouldn't have put in Russia. It just, like, confused me more. Georgia? Armenia? Turkey? Actually, I don't think Russia borders Turkey. Now that I get a good look over here. Unless you count like a water border, right? Armenia? Ah, there we go. It is Armenia. We lucked out. So Chechil. Traditional Armenian cheese known for unique characteristics and preparation. Brine string cheese that is customarily smoked. That sounds good. I know I keep talking about it sometimes, but khachapuri. I know it's like Georgian, but you also see it in like some Armenian restaurants too, but like it's basically like cheese bread, but sometimes it has egg in the middle. Beans and I found a vegan version and it's so good. That's probably like the best vegan food I've ever had in my life. Yo, shrimp chips? I know where this is. Okay, well, they have them in the Philippines, but I feel like you can also find it anywhere in East Asia. But just for the pride, just for the... Oi, Philippines! Let's try it out. It's cool. Japan? Where does it actually come from? Because I know they have them in multiple countries. Oh, there we go. Kappa ebisen. Kappa... Oh, so it's named after the Kappa, creature. Cool. I just know them as shrimp chips. I love them. You find these at all the like Filipino stores. Oh, this looks good. What the heck? Let's see. This is go-go seeds, water, flour, sugar, milk, orange blossom water, almonds, hazelnuts, pistachios, pine nuts, walnuts, egg yolks, vanilla rose water, cinnamon pastry. It's a dessert made from the seeds of Aleppo pine trees? That sounds familiar. Is that Palestine or Greece? Features a smooth, creamy base crafted from ground pine seeds, mixed with flour, sugar, water. Let's try Greece first. And if not, let's try Palestine. Warm to the west. Oh, maybe it's Italian. Maybe it's Roman. More south. Acidad Zgogo. It's southwest. Southwest of Italy. Southwest. Maybe it's Algerian. Borders to the northeast. Is this Tunisia? It is. I think it is Tunisia. Asidat Gogo from Tunisia. Very nice. Traditional Tunisian dessert primarily associated with the celebration of Mouled, which is an Islamic observance of the Prophet Muhammad's birthday. The dish is especially popular in northern regions of Tunisia. Oh, cool, cool. Alright, what's our score? We're a super foodie. We used to score higher. We used to be gastronomical geniuses, but it's been so long since I last did this. But it's okay. It's okay. Let's exit out of this. Let's see. We have 4 minutes. Let's do Scrandle. Scrandle. Scrandle 2? Is this the same thing? Okay, salt and pepper chicken. This is me just voting for what I like, right? How the mighty have fallen. No! I no longer have any cultural knowledge. Chicken and beer versus salt and pepper chicken. This looks good though. This looks really good. Oh, but it has like the spices. This has jalapeno. I love jalapenos. I don't know. I'm kind of trending towards this one. Thanks for voting. Donner meat, chips and cheese pie. Chili the nachos. Come on now. You gotta go with the nachos. Look at how good that looks. Large Donner meat and chicken and chips. This one has more sauce on it. This one looks kind of dry. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Popcorn! They're not even showing the popcorn! They're not even showing the popcorn. Burger with onions. Okay, so this at first looks kind of sad, especially with the little like mustard thing, but just spread it out. Just spread it out. I feel like that's enough mustard for the entirety of the bun, right? And then the onions, they look nice and caramelized. They look nice and caramelized. The burger looks kind of dry, but when you're a product of the LA Unified School District system, that doesn't look too bad. I'm very used to dry burgers, and this looks actually more appetizing than that. This one, you don't even see the popcorn. Like, come on. Come on now. Let's see. Coxina? Is this Brazilian? Oh yeah, Brazil. How do you pronounce that? Is it like cocina? Cochina? Cochina? Chicken tenders and fries. Ooh, I am a sucker for chicken tenders, but because I don't know what... oh wait, it says chicken paste and deep fried bread. That sounds good. That sounds good. Ooh, I don't know if you can hear my neighbors. They're playing really loud music, which I don't mind, but like, I don't know if you guys can hear it. Let's go with the coxina. Coxinha. Cool, cool, cool. Green so far. Ooh, look at that. Slathered. A Bombay sandwich. Balti pie with samosa and a... wait. Mint and chili sauce? I like things slathered in sauce like this. I do like samosas. Like, samosas are my jam. This doesn't look too bad either. Sandwich Leonai. Sausage, onion, and Saint Marcellin sauce. It's kind of tough. I think this is more aesthetically pleasing, right? But this one, like, you could taste the sauce. I'll go with this one. No, dang it. I just tuned in and immediately heard I like being slathered in sauce. No, no, I don't like being slathered in sauce. I like eating things that are slathered in sauce. No, no, no. Also, hello, Satenbori. Hello. I like eating things that are slathered. The bear does not like being slathered. It messes up my fur. It gets all like weird and like it's really hard to get out if you just shower in a river. Okay. Next up, salt and chili chicken pie versus a Chinese box. It's just called a Chinese box? Well, I guess, you got the spring rolls over here. You got the chicken tenders? This is Scottish, this is English. I don't know. Like, how good is the Chinese food in England, you know? It's worth trying at least once. No! I do like pot pies. Oh, give me a second. Alright, I am a sucker for pot pies. Oh no! We still need more time. Alright, we'll answer this one and then we'll go back to our studies. Binka gonna turn to the peanut butter kid. What does he say? He's the kid that's just like, ah. I keep confusing that one for the one where it's the kid being like, I smell like beef. I smell like beef. I'm gonna go with the chicken pie. No! Let's see, hot dog with fries. Ooh, paprika fries. That looks nice and like seasoned. And I don't know if you can really see any seasoning here. There is sauce with it, and then this also does come with a hot dog. Something about this though, I don't know, it seems like very well seasoned. Hey, Mets games, okay. I don't know then. I don't know. Which one? I do like the seasoning on this, but like the Mets though. Like, I'm just kidding. I'm kind of whatever on the Mets. I'm a Doyers kind of girl, but also the hot dog does look pretty good, right? And once again, slathered in sauce. Not me, but the hot dog. Now, you know what? We'll go with the paprika fries. Okay, just barely one. Okay. Wait, I said that I would stop. I did this yesterday too. Oh no. Yeah, I did this yesterday where I'm like, okay, we're gonna stop and then we're gonna do it again later. Alright, we got three more rounds to go, but let's go ahead and stop. We'll do our studying, and then we'll get back to it during the next break. So, no problemo. So, yeah. This time we're gonna go ahead and do this one, economy of lines. So, I'll read through it, draw a little bit on the iPad. Might as well finish now. No, that's the same thing you guys said yesterday! And you guys were right. Then what am I gonna do for the next break? Do you guys have another daily I can try for the next break? It's only 10 minutes is the thing, you know? Fine, I'll finish Scrandle. I can't say no to you guys. Spicy chicken bucket? Come on now. Look at how much better that looks compared to the Cuban sandwich. I do like Cuban sandwiches, don't get me wrong. We get, like, there's a vegan Cuban place that I love, but look at how aesthetically pleasing that looks. Come on now. Ooh, pie, mash, mushy peas, and gravy. I don't think I've ever actually tried mushy peas. It sounds like it would be gross, but I don't know. I've been wrong before when it came to, like, veggies, you know? Buffalo popcorn chicken, though? Ooh, no contest. I'm sorry. I love pot pie and like, mashed potatoes. But, like, this just looks so good. Okay, last round. What is that? Why does it look like that? Why does it look like a poopy from a butt? But buffalo popcorn chicken. I do like buffalo popcorn chicken. Ooh, the burger doesn't look too bad in this one. Okay, I understand that is just like a long sausage. I just don't like that it spirals like that. It does remind me of like poopy from a butt. So like, I don't know, I might go with this one. Burger, you know, looks a little dry, but it does have a little bit of melted cheese on top. Looks pretty good. French fries? You know, they could do it with a little bit more seasoning, but I'll go with this one. Really? You guys want the big sausage? Copy. We'll put it in the Discord, and then we'll, for real this time, for real, we're gonna study. Squandle. In the meantime, feel free to give me any other dailies that you want me to try for the next break. But alrighty, time to start the studying. Okay, economy of line. We doing economics up in here. Read through the diagrams for suggestions. Oh, I think I remember looking at this before the stream started. It's basically he scanned his own notes. They're nice and concise, don't get me wrong, but there was something funny about, like, read the diagram below instead of just, like, explaining it, you know? But, okay. Different textures needed for convincing depiction of realism. Oh, I do need help with this, or I do, like, need to develop this a little bit more, because when it comes to shading and stuff, I feel like I'm not great at shading. Because of, like, I basically use the same, like... what's it called, like hard edge versus soft edge. I feel like I need to vary that up. See, the types of lines used to depict hard and soft areas, and know that there is an alternation between the two. So yeah, if we like zoom in like here, you'd see that the contours of the face, like essentially like the line work is basically where there's like a hard stop. But the softer lines are kind of like, you know, this is where like shadows are. There's hard lines here for the eyeball, for the nose. And then the softer parts are kind of like a softer, what's it called? Contour? Does that make sense? So let's take a look at this person's notes. Muscle, fat, and bone. So there's a soft edge over here. Slower visual experience, and then a hard edge is a quickened visual experience. So I guess if we try to draw what that means, it's something like, if we start with a circle of our own and we do kind of like a more like defined contour like this, like the line work over here is a little bit more like darker and defined. This is like an abrupt stop. This is like, for example, the end of... Let's just say that this is like an orb, right? An orby. An orby. It's been so long since I've last drawn an orby. You know, everything on this side of the line is not orby. Everything on this side of the line is. However... So with that in mind, we could just draw like this to be like a little bit more of a boundary, but we can also kind of soften it up a little bit like this. Oh, cool. For those that are going to Offkai, I just got an email, a know before you go type thing. But since the butt of Orby is kind of like part of Orby itself, we can also soften up the lines with this one. And the way I'm kind of softening it up is like, I'm just using like soft like pen pressure. I'm not like pressing down on it too much. You can also do a little bit of cross hatching. That's also my way of like softening up lines as well. And you could also just use a softer brush. If we like erase all of this, cut, and we just use like a softer brush like this one. There we go. Like a little softer impression of a nice plump butt, you know? So, okay, let's go back to the notes. So, soft edge, slower visual experience. A hard edge is a quickened visual experience. Balance, fast versus slow, bone versus muscle. Okay, so I guess, for example, if you're drawing the human figure and there's certain parts of the body where not necessarily the bone is exposed, but like there's parts of your body where like the bone is closest to the skin, like there's not as much muscle covering over it. I think a good example is if if you're touching like your collarbone, you can kind of feel specifically like where like the bone is kind of like closest to the skin versus let's say your butt or your belly where there's a lot of like muscle, so you don't feel like the bone underneath. Sorry, I was reading a text message. So yeah, like or even like your face, your cheeks, for example. I'm like touching my own face right now. On your cheeks, like let's say like right underneath your eyeballs, you can kind of feel where your bone is, right? But if you go towards your cheeks, where it's more so muscle, you don't feel any. So there's gonna be, when you're drawing those two things, there's gonna be different textures. I guess that's why they're using the diagram of the face here. Right? Like if we take a good example here. Like here in the cheeks is where it's like kind of the softest, so they didn't even put any like shading or rendering just to kind of show that squishiness. There's also squishiness here, like underneath the lips, and then the places where like the bone is most like closer to the skin, that's where you see these hard lines. At least that's what I'm getting from this. So like the brow bone is actually a better example than the one I used. Yeah, like here, this section right behind the eye, and of course like the contour of the face itself. So interesting. So if we let me try that again with Orby over here. Instead of using a softened brush, let's use some cross hatching to just kind of imply that there's like a little booty there. There we go. Instead of just doing like a line like that, it's like a softer softer implication of a booty, right? Though the angle is kind of messy. There we go. Something like that. No, actually that angle's even more like weird. Let me just take this out. Cut. There we go. We'll just have an Orby there. Are we still on the Digimon playlist? I'm actually not familiar with this music now. Oh, we are, but it's a little bit later. Oh, you know what? I never watched Cross Wars, so I don't recognize some of this music. So we can play something else. Oh, here we go. I think this is the opening to Digimon Adventure 2020. Which, like, I didn't like it as much as 1999, of course, but it's still a cute series. Alright, let's see what these notes are. Oh, this person's providing a guide on how to make softer lines as well. But it's more towards traditional like drawing rather than like digital. So we'll have to try out some techniques. Actually, let me see if... Is this the opening? That's not the opening. But this one. I think this is the opening. Okay, cool. Sharper lines describe abrupt changes in plane or light. These can generally be seen as describing plane changes on a box or cast shadow edges. These types of line can be used for the description of hard angular spaces on the body, landmark points, or bone. Okay. Softer edges give a slower visual experience to the viewer. This is the same as the gradation or edge describing the sphere. This quality of line is reserved for smoother, softer areas like muscle or fat. Okay, so let's try it out with the box then, because he drew a box kind of for our assistance. And this one is in shadow. Alright, so because this area is in shadow, then we have thicker lines here. And actually the whole box is like more angular, so we can use harsh lines here, but for something like a sphere, that's when we want to use softer lines. Which we can use a harder line here for the contour, but then once it gets to... No, actually, if the light source is here, then this one would have more of like a harder contour. But then the more you get to like, say like the shadow, then this is where like the line can become a little bit more soft. And then he even gives a... Oh, we have an ad break. Oh, I didn't even realize. Alright, I'll see you guys in a couple minutes. I'll still be working on my drawing. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I was so locked in, I didn't even realize that the ad break was playing. So, sorry about that. You guys didn't miss too much. I was kind of like just comparing this difference between like a soft and a hard edge when it comes to drawing. And the person who wrote the guide, Michael Hapton, even like provided kind of like a guide on how to differentiate between the two. And basically it works with both traditional and digital art, but basically like starting with like a bit more if you're doing digital, then like starting with more like pen pressure. this is kind of like one way to make a harder edge. Meanwhile, like if you just use like a light touch, that's a softer edge. With traditional though, it's a matter of your angle. So, oh, actually, there's kind of like a little bit of like, there's a little bit of angle detection here. So, if you're just holding your pen or your pencil, then, you know, just putting it across, like, on top of the paper, kind of like with the point. I know this seems really simple of like how to use a pencil, like, duh, use the point, but then like to soften it up, you can angle it. You can angle so that the broader side of the pencil lead is touching the paper and is leaving the mark there, if that makes sense. And it seems like they're using hard edges for angular parts, hard surfaces, landmark points, or bone, while the softer edges would be used for more sphere-like places like muscle and fat. So with that in mind, I did have an idea of something that I could do to kind of like test this out. But I need a reference picture. So give me a second. I think I know where to get the reference picture actually. So if I go over to YouTube. I need to bring up a certain person's channel. Dang. Okay, I might just ask for anyone listening in. Does anyone have like a reference for Randon's Orby but with the face? Like that one time he had the model where he was like, you know, ask the orb, ponder the orb. Trying to find it on YouTube. Or do I just need to like scroll through his like channel? No, you know what? I think I just have to go to his channel and then look up orb, right? Oh, I found it. I found it. Oh my god. This is wild. Jesus Christ. So this is what I'm gonna try to draw. This is what I'm gonna try to draw because it actually has a good demonstration of like the bony parts of the face and like the softer parts of the face, right? So I'm gonna make my best attempt just to get this concept down well, right? So I'm gonna start with kind of like a soft edge overall. And then the hair, of course. I realized I could have also just like looked up the what is it? The looks maxing pose. But I don't know, this is funnier. Like this is funnier. Let me use some guidelines here. Now, you know what? I will look up the pose. What is it? Looks maxing? Pose? No, it's not showing the pose that I want. The meme with the eyebrows. Dang. I can't find it. I guess I'm just gonna have to use Orby. Oh no! This is fantastic. It's not gonna be 100% accurate, as you can see, but the funny factor will be there. I think the mouth needs to be smaller. Alright, and let's fix the proportions a little bit. You know what? In general, this can come over this way. This one can be thinner. Understand, we'll feel the same whenever I make expressions like this too. This is quite the expression too. Let me make it a little smaller, and then I need to plump up some of those lips. Whoopsie. Speaking of expressions, when during the last ad break, I took a look at Creative Cubs and saw that Fagooby had added to it with some cool expressions. It looks sick. I liked it. Oh, there needs to be a little, like, tilt here. That, like, confident grin. And of course you need the cheek lines. This is crazy. This is, like, honestly crazy. There we go. Let me just erase the guidelines, and then the whole reason that I drew this was to practice basically like what we learned in this section. Excuse me, I might need to drink some more water. And that is this idea of like hard edge versus soft edge and when to use it. Actually, let me drink some water. Okay. Okay, I think I erased most of the guidelines. There's still some like little guidelines peeking here and there, but it's fine. Jesus Christ, this face. Okay, so we want to use a hard edge wherever the bony part of the skull. I'm touching my own face, by the way. The boniest parts of the skull, like wherever you feel that, that is where you are going to be using the hardest edge, and I'm feeling it a lot during right here in my brow. And then something a little softer for the fleshy areas. How about, so yeah, your eyes are squishy, right? But there is kind of like a ridge where your eye sits, like your eye sits within a socket, essentially. So the edge of that socket is where you want to use those like harder lines. But you can soften it up as you go inside of the eyeball itself. And then same with here. I think that's what this line is supposed to be, is like the bottom half of the socket, and then this entire section can be a little bit softer. So hard edge here, softer edge here. Where else? Oh, the bridge of the nose. You can definitely feel it here, the bridge of the nose. Same with, that's funny, if you put your finger up to the center, like in between your eyebrows, it blocks my tracking completely. So hard edge here. Your nostrils are a little bit softer, so we can probably use a bit of a softer touch on that. Yeah, your nose is actually nice and fleshy if you like touch it, so use a little bit of cross hatching for that part. And then like your cheekbones too. I think that's what these are, is your cheekbones. That's more of a harder edge. Let me add some more shading here for kind of like the fleshy part. And let me add some texture to the eyebrow as well. So yeah, right underneath that cheekbone is very, very fleshy. So here, we don't even need like... There's still a line there indicating like this fleshy part, but you can also just use cross-hatching. In the end, this starts to become more like shading, like how to shade the face. Okay, he looks less like he's looks maxing, and now he just looks like, you know, malnourished. Malnourished and like smoking multiple cigarettes, right? Like he sounds like it feels like he would sound like he has a super croaky voice, and it's just like, you're just like your father. Never amount to nothing. I'm taking the kids to my sisters. You're no good. I like doing... That's the voice that me and my... I know it's from like a Vine, But me and my friend, like my friends from like college, would like say it every so often. You're just like your father. All right, it is time to take a break. But look what we ended up with. We're gonna continue this. We're gonna continue this too, but I don't know, there's just something that looks so like unhinged about it. They add a little bit more shading here. Jesus Christ, I can't look at my own screen. I can't look at my own screen. Okay, starting our break. I don't have any dailies to do unless we could do time guesser community maps. We haven't touched any of those yet. Dumb test time guesser edition? I'm scared. I'm scared I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna be like, damn, turns out I'm dumb. Turns out I don't know the exact year when the Kennedy assassination happened, despite watching, what's it called? Mad Men, and knowing that at least it happens in the 60s. Random historical events. I think that's Lennon, isn't it? Michael Jackson! Wait. This is when he was in Brazil. Brazil. Let's try it out. Ooh, man, he looking good. This would have been during the 80s or 70s. I was checking Listdle, a site with all the other daily games, but most of them have a lot of ads. Rats. Don't like that. Is this New York? I actually don't know where this would be. Would it be during like the late 70s, early 80s, I want to say? Maybe 81? King of the dance floor. I kind of want to say New York, right? Doesn't this feel Manhattan-ish? Let's say it's like on the way to the Statue of Liberty or something. Make a guess. 6 years off. Oh, he's in Hong Kong. Okay. Jackson in Hong Kong for a private 3-week vacation during a break in this Bad World Tour in 1987. Ah. Oh, it's the Jackson 5, and this looks like it's in London. But thanks Pexicle for checking on Listdle. I appreciate that. Oh, when was he born again? That was 1987, so maybe this was during more so the 70s. He looks like, is this Michael? He looks like a teenager at this point, so, or maybe I think this is Michael actually. So yeah, maybe this is late 70s. 77, let's go. The Jackson 5 in London for a second time, for a performance for Queen Elizabeth II, May 1977. This is Brazil. Michael. This is in the favelas. I actually don't know where though. Rio? Yeah, Rio de Janeiro. This is for, all I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. You hear what people say, we know the truth. All I wanna say is that they don't really care about us. What is this, 95? 96? 96, let's go. Let's go. It's funny because I wouldn't even call myself a Michael Jackson mega fan. I just love his music. And I just really like that one song. And I just watched the Michael movie like a month ago. So like all of this is luck. I'm telling you guys that right now. They don't care about us. Yeah, they don't even care about us. The favela. Oh, this is him with blanket. This is actually, I want to say shortly before he died. So this is 2000s. Did we say 2008? Maybe 2009? And I forgot where he lives. I feel like it's in LA. Is it somewhere in like Encino or something like that? I want to say it's like somewhere here. Or is this like Hollywood? Because I know he grew up somewhere like in Encino. Or somewhere in that like northern area. But this could also be somewhere in like LA. Maybe the Hollywood Hills? This could be Hollywood Hills. Let's try Encino. Let's just see. Not the country club. Let's put it like here, 2008. Oh, he was in Berlin. Dang it. And we were 6 years off. Okay, it wasn't shortly before he died because he died in 2009. While staying at the Adlon Hotel Kempinski in Berlin, Jackson briefly dangled his infant son over the 4th floor balcony. 2002. I remember that. That was wild. Aw, he looks so nice in this one. This looks like a little bit towards later in life, so I want to say this is still 2000s. Maybe 2001? Oh, that's like, I think in his family home. That's in... Oh, the thing is... where is he from... Was it Birmingham? Or... Oh, no, I forgot where he was from. It wasn't Atlanta, right? Charleston? Jacksonville, obviously. I like second-guessed myself. I was like, is he from Jackson, Mississippi? I feel like it's somewhere here in the South, but I forgot. I like straight up forgot where he's from. Georgia, Montgomery, Alabama. I feel like they say it all the time, especially like in the like trailer. It's like, you know, a family from from this place, from Birmingham, Alabama, from Montgomery, Alabama, from Atlanta, Georgia. I feel like it was a smaller town. Maybe Charlotte? Columbus? I kind of want to say Birmingham. Oh, it might be a Montgomery. It'd be so funny if it was Jackson, Mississippi. Let's say Montgomery. Make guess. Indiana. It's Gary, Indiana. Why did I think it was the South? It is Gary, Indiana. The house is still owned by Katherine Jackson. Oh, cool. Cool, cool. Yeah, I definitely know that that's the house. I just forgot where it was he grew up. So not too bad. Not too bad. 34K. Not too bad at all. How much time do we have? 3 minutes? That should be enough time for another one. Another community one. Absolutely random game. This will confuse you? I'm curious. A hopefully difficult game. Okay, so this is like a German festival. It says Malibu. It says Malibu. Is this Malibu? Wait, what does it say? Pista de danza Tanzbune? Yeah, what if this is Malibu? Or it could be... Wait, no, here it is. Malibu. I was like, wait, where is Malibu? Malibu, maybe 2000s, maybe? Oh, no, there's phones. There's people with big phones, so maybe this is 2020s. 2025. Festa Pomerana 40th edition is a major cultural festival held in every January to celebrate the city's German heritage. Oh, in South America. Okay. They got me. They got me real good. Danza. Okay, this looks like it's what's it called? Dutch, right? But if this is meant to confuse me, I know that Canada and the Netherlands have like a close relationship in terms of tulip flowers, right? What if this is like a Dutch town somewhere in Canada, right? There's also a Dutch town in California. It's a little north of LA or Los Pincos. It's called Solvang, but I don't remember where it is. Is it somewhere here? Here, Solvang. Solvang. Time period I wouldn't know. Is this all like contemporary, like 2020 something? No, it's in a Japanese theme park that recreates a Dutch village. 2012. Dang, yeah, this is gonna be pretty good. This is gonna be pretty good. The car looks like it's 30s, right? The car looks like it's at least 30s. Oh, no, wait. It's meant to confuse me, right? Because then that guy's not wearing a hat. And this guy, he's like in short shorts, so maybe this is 80s, right? I don't know where this would be, though. I have no idea where this could be, unfortunately. Let's take a guess. Let's guess trusty old Catalina Island. 1988. 30 years off. It's the late 50s. Postcard from Laco Ameno's port, an iconic mushroom. Mushroom. Ah, that's our timer. Okay, Pomodoro. One more Pomodoro. One more. Once more. Let's just finish off this. Dang, doesn't Greece have like a whole bunch of these like super blue buildings? But it's meant to confuse. It's meant to confuse. Oh, wait, what does this say? I cannot read that for the life of me. What does that say? It looks like it's in Latin, but like, or Latin text, but I can't make sense of it. Plate? Looks like a painting. Hello, Nap. Hello. Like the composition, right? Composition kind of like does kind of resemble a painting. I cannot read what that says. Like, I feel like the letters are too thin because like I feel like this would make like an L, like a cursive L. Tanarika? Right? Like I think this is like a T, maybe a U, R-I-A? I feel like I'm having a stroke. I feel like these definitely... Wait, does it say upright? Dang. I thought that would help us out, the text, but no. Oh, this is a Ghost game. This is the opening to Digimon Ghost game from a couple years back. I don't think it's Greece because that would be too easy for a quiz like this. For those that are just coming in, this isn't the daily for Time Guesser. We're playing some community maps. And it's hard. It's really hard. This one is really hard in particular. I don't think it's Greece, but we're just gonna take a stab at it. Faction. In Casamasima, an Apulian town resembling a Moroccan village. They didn't capitalize their freaking... It's not too far off, though. It's still, like, in Italy. Or it's still, like, here in Europe. Alright, last round. That looks like a Filipino Tito if I've ever seen one. So this is meant to confuse us, right? So obviously this isn't, Wait, could this be Vegas? Nah, this would not be Vegas. I like this band that did Ghost Game. Oh, yeah, right? The opening's really good. It's meant to trick us, but that's not the Paris Hotel in Vegas, and it'd be too easy to say that it's just Paris, right? Is this supposed to be a hint? That does look like a Filipino Tito, but he could also pass for like Hispanic, right? And there's a little like neighborhood over here. Could this be Philippines? Maybe Latin America? Is there a place in Latin America that like really likes this? Oh, Nap, you know this place? Interesting. Who would have like a Parisian town? Let's say Latin America. This guy also feels like he might be Latin American. I'll just say Bogota. Bogota, Colombia. This looks pretty contemporary, 2016. Oh, it's in China. Resident stands at the balcony of his apartment at Tianducheng development in Hangzhou. 2014. Dang, they got us good. This one is fun. This will confuse you. A hopefully difficult game. Got me. Got me pretty good. Okay, cool. So that's that was my reference. That was my reference. So all right, we have one more focus time, 30 minutes. And I'm just going to be doing the last part of the first chapter, and then I think that'll be it for today. This place was famous for being one of those empty developments in China. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I should have known the guy that I was like, he looks like a Filipino tito. The thing is, there's also like, I feel like people, when they think of East Asians, they usually think of folks with like the monolid, right? But there are also a bunch of like folks in China, especially, and Japan with like the double lid or like the almond shaped eyes, and it reminds me of Southeast Asians, but you could see it in like a lot of different places in Asia. But yeah, that was the end of our second short break. We have our third focus slash study session. And let's see, where did we leave off? For those that don't know, this is a study session for me to learn a little bit more about anatomy, because I want to get better at that kind of stuff. So we're using this book, figure drawing by Michael Hampton. We've been doing some gesture drawings, but now we're talking about this idea of economy of line, aka when to use like a hard edge, like this, or a softer edge. So with that in mind, we drew a face, we drew Orby, and we're trying to kind of like mark out where you would use hard lines versus soft lines on here. So let me go ahead and start the timer, and then there's just pretty much one last section that we have to go through. So let's see, we already kind of marked out the Orby is so funny. Yeah, exactly, kind of like this Chad looking guy, right? So we have some hair here. Yeah, so we're using the harder edge for like thick contours. So like the contour of like the actual orb itself. And then for any, if you like touch your face and see like where are like the boniest parts, that's where you're going to be using the hard edge. So like for the top of the brows, for example, this is going to have kind of like a harder edge in comparison to like, kind of like the more fleshy parts. Like here, like this kind of hollow part in like where the cheekbone is. We can also smudge this part. Actually, I don't really like using the smudge tool if I'm being honest. How about this? Let's erase this part. And we'll still be cross-hatching, but it's going to be a little bit more spread out, kind of like that. So that way he doesn't look emaciated. But I think also the key to making him look less emaciated is just adding more shading all around. So we're actually going to be using the book as kind of like a guide in terms of like where we're going to be finding more fleshy parts of the face. The nose is also very fleshy as well. Here, let me do some shading here. So yeah, the nose is pretty fleshy. I'm touching it right now. Like this whole part, because the bone of your nose actually goes down to here and then it kind of cuts off. The rest of your nose is all part of cartilage. It's all made of cartilage, rather. So we can draw like kind of a harder edge here to kind of like indicate that. And everything on the other side is a little bit softer. I think that's why, like, when you see, like, JoJo, for example, like, the way that Araki draws JoJo, he always has these, like, kind of lines here, and then, like, lines here as well. I think that's just, like, mostly his stylization, but I wouldn't doubt that it came from, like, trying to draw out these, like, kind of bony landmarks on the face. This part is also kind of more fleshy as well. Touching, if you touch your face, it starts becoming a little like fattier here, right? Hard edge here. Jesus Christ, he looks so sleazy. Every time I like zoom out and just get a good look, it's like, oh Jesus Christ. Alright. Oh yeah. Duh, the lips. The lips are super fleshy as well. But there is still a bit of a hard edge here where there would be also a lot of shading. Because you do have this dip. You have what's called a philtrum in between your nose and your lips. So this would probably have like a bit of a harder edge. But you can put some shading here too. Oh, we need some shading on the teeth as well. Oh, the chin. Touch your chin. Touch your chin. It's pretty bony, right? It's pretty bony, so let's add a chin here. Even if you have multiple chins, there is still a bone under there, so. However, there is still kind of like a little bit of like fat there as well. Not a little bit, but like depending on. But like if you touch your chin, you can definitely feel the bone. But then over it, like in between your bottom lip and your chin, there is like still a fleshy part, so you would still have some shading down here as well, or some soft indications of soft edges here as well. Let's see, where else are we missing? What else are we missing shading? So the top of the head. Let's go ahead and go over the top of the head. We went over how like your brows are definitely kind of like the boniest parts, but your forehead also has like is pretty bony. There's also a line like right here, like right where there's almost like a diagonal line between like your hairline and like your brow where it's the thickest. Like, actually right here is probably like where the bone is jutting out the most, like the arch of your eyebrow. God, we made Orby look so grizzled. But yeah, that's kind of the how I'm understanding at least this idea of like economy of line, of like when to use kind of like a harder edge. Like here, like the contour here versus like this kind of like softer edge for the inside. But alright, let's go ahead and finish off this chapter with this last section called creating a story. So what's that all about? What do we mean by creating a story? Can mean a number of different things. Gesture can be the way we recognize moods through body mechanics, the innate ability to recognize your best friend from 20 to 30 feet away, or simply just being able to read the body as a type of communication. When studying gesture drawings, it will be a common exercise to exaggerate these positions until you become more comfortable with articulating a wide range of expressions. Once the ability to develop the exaggerated is achieved, the more natural subtleties of expression will be much easier to create, which is a good tip. Overall, like what I'm noticing with this book, and it's the same as when I took a life drawing course, is that like there isn't too much focus for now on accuracy of like proportion and stuff like that. Let's go back to our gesture drawings. Once again, this is not about realism. This is not about getting like the right proportions down. There are definitely some points, like these look pretty good, right? But like just today, there are a couple where like I'm not happy with how the pose turned out, but that's not the point. The point is kind of like getting the vibe of that pose, getting the The feeling of it, being able to tell when someone is mad or angry or sad just by their pose. So I think that's what this section is talking about, but let's keep on reading. Remember that the figure is a machine. This baby is a machine. This bear is a machine that turns 64 slices of American cheese into pain. Into pain. Let's see, not just in the design of bones and muscle, but also movement. Oh, constant relationship between balance and imbalance. Think of the natural activity of walking as an example. In order to walk, run, or move at all, we must throw ourselves out of balance, and with the next step, catch it again. The reason all of our design elements are focused on asymmetry, balanced movement, is because we are describing a machine moving through a series of controlled falls. I've heard that before, actually, that like walking is essentially controlled falling. Because you're launching yourself off the ground, only to catch yourself with that other foot. So far, you may have noticed that there's been no discussion of measuring the figure or proportion. In this particular approach, there's an emphasis on achieving proportion through overall quick assessment of size. Work through the gesture lines from head to foot, then take a moment to decide if what you've done looks correct. This is not to say this approach is better than another. However, this approach allows for the emphasis to be placed on capturing the feeling of movement and position. There you go. That's kind of what I mean by like the vibe of a pose. It's like capturing the feeling of the movement. One of the negative aspects of measuring is that at times it tends to produce static, stiffened poses with very little fluidity. And then lastly, the figure should be drawn using straight C and S curved lines to quickly capture the story or intention of the pose. Proportion should be judged based on the overall appearance of what you have drawn. And then I think that's it for... Oh no, there's more. There's more. Alright, yeah. Remember that at no point in a gesture drawing should you be worried about developing a likeness or drawing contour. Me throwing nephew to catch controlled flight. There you go, right? It's all controlled chaos, methinks. I guess before we move on to like reading more, we can see if like, can we get the mood of something based off of their pose, right? Like this one looks like they might be in despair. Like hand is on head. The other hand is kind of like thrown up. But they're also like kind of half kneeling as well. So maybe it's a kind of like, woe is me, like type pose, right? Anything here? This kind of looks like someone throwing a punch, right? You can kind of feel the, there's like an overall movement here, like starting, like even far down is like the butt. There's like a bit of velocity that moves up into the arm. So it looks like they're kind of like putting their whole arm into it. What's funny is that they tell me to go further. You know what's funny is I keep on seeing like those videos of like, is this considered like rough parenting? And it's like a dad throwing his like toddler around, kind of like roughhousing with them, and the toddler is having so much fun with it. And it's funny because like this is usually a video of like a pediatrician being like, no, this is not rough. Well, also like if you're a parent, then yeah, you should be able to kind of like gauge via your kid's reaction whether or not like this is too rough or not. But if the kid is like begging to be thrown, to be launched, you know, and they're not crying after they hit the couch, then it's fine, you know. It's just funny to see like, you know, a dad throwing their toddler, the toddler is laughing, and the pediatrician, or there's like a caption saying like, is this too rough? And then the pediatric doctor will be like, no, it's not. But yeah, sometimes toddlers be like that, you know? My little sister, I remember like when she was really young, she was like still like not necessarily a toddler, but she was still like a kid. Her favorite thing would be like me and my brother would like pick up her legs as she's like lying like belly down on the floor, and we would just drag her across the carpet. And she was laughing. She was like laughing as we did that. She'd be like, again. She just like being like dragged on the floor. And I remember my mom telling me that like even like up until she was like a teenager, she enjoyed like our brother doing that. So yeah, kids be like that sometimes. Let's see. Figure should be drawn using straight CNS curved lines. read that part. Any other emotions we could see from this? Now, a lot of these seem like more, for those who don't know, if you ever take a life drawing course, usually they have a live model there, and they're usually naked because you want to catch all of the kind of like, the thing with like clothing is that it covers up certain body landmarks, such as like your clavicle, your collarbone, things like your knees, your elbows. Those are all body bony landmarks. So you would prefer someone that is naked, just so that you can figure out how to draw clothes over it. And usually this model is a professional. Like, they know exactly how to pose, especially because like the drawing time will vary. For warm-up, sometimes you could go anywhere from like 5-minute drawings to like 30-second drawings. You have to go like quick. So they have to be able to change their poses accordingly and like have very dynamic poses. Like, if you're doing like a 30-minute sketch, you're not going to be doing any kind of pose where you're on one leg, right? So it's going to be something that you can keep for the 30 minutes, but also something like, but if you're doing like a 30-second pose, then yeah, do like your baseball like pitcher pose, you know? But that's kind of what this resembles. I say all that because like these kind of just look like a model who's kind of going through their like repertoire of poses. I picked them up by the legs and spin it. They love it. Right? Right? I love that so much. Like, kids are crazy. It reminds me of like that one Pokemon that's like a jet, and its kids, like the baby versions, like being shot out of the jet. They crave it. They crave being shot, you know, head first into the air. Okay, so remember, at no point in a gesture drawing should you be worried about developing a likeness or drawing contour lines. Focus on the movement caused by the line use. Think of these drawings as being abstract exercises in moving line to move the eye. In using line to move the eye. There we go. Figure drawing is not so much about making something look like a person, but instead developing incredibly complex artistic practices and skills. Learning these skills will allow you to easily create a variety of figure or character desired. Any variety of figure or character desired. So yeah, and that seems to be what's happening here. Like, there's not really too much concern over like creating like an accurate figure, but just getting like those landmarks and getting like the sense of a pose. And then I think this is the last section. Yeah, this is the last section. So consider the gesture as your animated way of capturing the lyricism of the entire figure. Do your best to keep the fluidity of the gesture, but still include the mechanics, skeleton, and anatomy perspective in order to give believability to the overall figure. Next chapter will discuss using gesture as a framework for developing a functional design for a skeleton. Adding the landmarks is the first step into a rigorous demonstration of how that gesture is possible. Regardless of chapters and information to come, it's crucial to begin with a gesture. Okay. Okay. Understandable. Understandable. I understand. How much time? Oh, we don't have that much time left. I was yapping too long, so... What this is basically saying, I think it's just like summarizing the basics of gesture and how to kind of like evoke any kind of emotion onto it. So let's try that out. Let me see if I Google like angry pose. What that gets me in terms of like a reference. Yeah, you could say that's an angry pose. This is a good one, actually. I just need to see more of the legs, but... Because I guess, like... Oh, jeez, that's terrifying. How about this? Instead of angry pose, aggressive pose. Oops. Misspell that. Angressive. Aggressive pose. Okay, this one. Kind of like... Oh, Jesus Christ. Arms kind of like outstretched. You're like the whole body posture is kind of out. Even the hands are kind of outstretched, so it's almost like this kind of like, come on, fight me, fight me. So let's try this out. And then you don't really see the neck in this one. There's like a bit of an indication of a neck. The legs are even like outstretched. But they're also kind of like off balance. Because like this one foot is kind of coming out a little bit more. There you go, we'll have a face here. I know that's not part of gesture, but you know. You can kind of see with the shoulders too, the shoulder, because you don't see the neck as much. The shoulders are even like coming out towards the viewer. And actually, they kind of cover up part of the arms as well. Ugh, I really don't know how to draw feet. I don't know how to draw feet. There you go. Yeah, that looks pretty aggressive, right? He's like, what, dude? What, bro? What, bro? If we do the triangle trick too, wait, hold on. Yeah, it's you know, it's not necessarily dynamic, but you know, it's like a little off balance in a way that can kind of like paint that aggression. Feet are hard, but still better than hands. The thing with like, I feel like I like hands a little bit more because like you do get to practice them a little bit more often. Whereas like feet, oftentimes they're covered by like shoes or sandals or whatever. Well, actually sandals, like they're not covered that much, but with hands, like you get to practice them a lot. So like no matter what, you kind of like it's easier to improve with hands compared to feet. At least with my experience. Okay, how much time we have? We still have 8 minutes. Well, I'm getting hungry, especially with this pizza box in front of me. This empty pizza box. So let's do one more drawing, and then we might even just call it early. Let's see. I'm gonna Google maybe happy pose. Okay, we can work with this. Nice and sassy, right? Nice and like, yippee! You know? Alright, let's work with this one. I'm trying to kind of stick to gesture. It's hard because there are certain things that I just want to like, I feel like I'm so used to doing with figure drawing, but I'm trying to like do what the the guide said, and just focus on gesture. Don't worry too much about like likeness. Oh, and we do have an ad break coming up in less than a minute. This should be our last ad break of the day. I'm gonna keep on drawing through the ad break, but you won't be missing out on much. Probably won't be saying anything. Alright, I'll actually put you guys in the cub corner early because I got a text message I need to respond to. So I'll see you guys in a bit. Welcome back. Give me a second. I'm actually ordering food with beans. So give me a second. Okay, we're back. Oh, nope. No, we're not because my my tracking is not here. Wow, wow, Alright, we're back for sure this time. Sorry, Beans had texted me. He's visiting his grandma right now and was like, I'm gonna get food afterwards. Do you want anything? And I'm like, yes, I do. And playing Scrandle and seeing the popcorn chicken gave me a craving. And luckily there is a place with vegan hot popcorn chicken, so I'm getting some today. I'm getting some. Let's freaking go. And back just in time for the beat break opening, things are coming up binka. So let's go ahead and let's see. The timer is actually gonna expire in about 2 minutes. So I'm just gonna finish up this figure drawing, and I think that's where we will call it. In that case, let me pause the timer. And I'm just gonna make sure there's no incoming raids, since we're gonna be ending pretty soon. BPM. Alright, let's go ahead and finish this drawing. Alright. So we're just finishing up a happy pose. See, they're happy. Dang, I don't know how to draw heels either. Now that I think about it. This one's also kind of turning out wonky, but it's whatever. Oh, and that's the end of the timer. Can't be PM. Yeah, we're almost done with this anyway, so we're good. I think we will be skipping the mosh pit for today, if that's okay with you guys. Just because I'm pretty hungry. And I'm gonna devour that popcorn chicken once it gets here. Wow, 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 wow. Alright, we got our two poses here. We got happy and mad. I feel like I did a better job with the mad one, but once again, it's not about resemblance, it's about getting just the vibe of the pose. And I think for either one of them, you do kind of get the vibe of like each emotion that's being portrayed here. So yeah, this was fun. So let's take a look back at what we did for today. We took a look at this idea of what was it called again? It was not economics of line. That's the second thing that we went over. Here, the about to pose, in which, like, if you want a dynamic pose, go for something that is, for one, a little bit off balance, but also, like, if we'd use the triangle trick, as in, like, if you draw a triangle between the figure's two legs, where their feet are, and their belly button, if you look at the triangle that's formed from that, it should look a little bit off kilter, like not as balanced on the bottom. So we did get that. And then after that, we looked at economy of line in terms of like using hard edges versus soft edges, and how that can be used to kind of render things like flesh, something soft like flesh and fat, versus something hard like bone, or those bony landmarks on the body. And then lastly, we went over telling a story, or rather like portraying something like mood through pose. So yeah, these are just the basics. We literally just got past the first chapter. So if we take a look at the book that we're using, our next chapter will be on landmarks. So landmarks, basically we're going to be looking at parts of the body that like, basically like if you mess up on any certain part of the body, make sure it's not these parts. But also learning about these will make it so that like even if you like to exaggerate your features, didn't realize you gave him cheeks, yeah. So like lots of all artists will like exaggerate figures in one way or another. In fact, like anime eyes are like a good example of like exaggerating. That's exaggerating the eyes, right? Like proportionally speaking, our eyes don't look like that, but as long as you get certain landmarks correct, such as like certain proportions and certain things like I said, the collarbone and then certain parts of the face, then you can still exaggerate and it will still look familiar enough to be identified as a part of the body. And maybe even aesthetically pleasing. So yeah, that's what we're going to be going over. It looks like the first portion is the rib cage and the pelvis. What else? Volume. Weight distribution, okay. Okay, so we're going to be learning about a lot of that kind of stuff. So that will not be next week, mind you. Next week, I'm only going to be streaming once. I'm only going to be streaming on Monday, and that is a collab with George Chungus. So actually, let me put the iPad away. Yeah, let's go ahead and send a shout out to George Chungus. So he is an artist and an animator. We're going to be collabing next week and talking about Monday of next week. We're going to be talking about the history of certain animation communities, such as Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, stuff like that. So do look forward to that. And that will actually be my only stream for the week, because the rest of the week is going to be off Kai. So yeah, look forward to that. I don't think there's anything else to say. No mosh pit for today. We're just gonna go ahead and raid out into someone. Let's see who we can raid out into. But thanks for tuning in, you guys. I always like doing these study sessions because they feel like I'm getting a lot done. But all right, let's see who is currently streaming. We got Nina, we got Ghosty, we got Folk. Got Kyo. That sounds like fun. Hopefully you have a good time at Offkai. Oh yeah, definitely. T-Pain is streaming. So is Octopimp. I just found out about this guy through what's it called? Offkai stuff. Let's see, Nina. I think, did Nina just start? Let's do Nina. We'll go ahead and raid into Nina. So, alright. Alright guys, thanks for tuning in. We're gonna go ahead and start that raid. I hope you guys have a good morning, afternoon, and evening. And as always, I'll see you guys when I see you guys. Bye-bye! We raid.